A single decision in this forest is about to change Feyre Archeron's life forever. She doesn't know that yet. Right now, she has a much simpler problem. Her family is starving. Winter has driven the animals deeper into the woods, the food at home is gone, and Feyre has traveled farther than she normally dares. Then she finds exactly what she needs: a deer. But something else has found it too, and Feyre is about to make a choice with consequences far greater than hunger. The first thing Chapter 1 tells us about Feyre is surprisingly important. She isn't in this forest looking for adventure. She's here because survival has become her responsibility. The Archerons have exhausted their bread. Their dried meat is already gone. There is almost nothing left between the family and genuine starvation, and winter has made hunting increasingly difficult. Feyre has therefore pushed farther from home than she normally would, closer to dangers that everyone in the human lands has been taught to fear. Wolves are one concern, but something much worse may be wandering these woods: fairies. The border of Prythian isn't impossibly far away, and stories of attacks have been circulating with increasing frequency, so from the beginning, Feyre isn't choosing between safety and danger. She's choosing between different kinds of danger: stay home and starve, enter the forest, and perhaps not return. But Moss quietly gives us another piece of Feyre here. Beneath the hunter is an artist. For a brief moment, Feyre stops thinking about food and danger and simply notices the beauty of the snow. Light, color, shape. We learn that she once dreamed in those things. Painting wasn't merely a hobby she abandoned. It represents the part of herself that survival has forced her to suppress, and that creates one of the most important contrasts in Feyre's character. She is capable of seeing extraordinary beauty, while living a life that demands extraordinary brutality. The girl who notices the color of winter light is the same girl who has learned to kill because other people depend upon her. That contradiction is important, because we're about to watch both sides of Feyre collide. And then the forest finally gives Feyre what she came for: a doe. Not a particularly large one, not untouched by winter. But to Feyre, this animal isn't simply prey. It's food for her family, potentially enough for more than a week. Meat can be eaten now and preserved for later. The hide has value. Every part of the animal represents something the Archerons desperately need. So Feyre takes aim, and notice how quickly her thinking changes. There is no dramatic moral crisis over killing the deer. There can't be. Hunger has simplified the equation. Feyre has learned to translate an animal into days of survival, and she's seconds away from releasing the arrow, when she realizes she isn't the only hunter watching the clearing. Beside Feyre, hidden in the brush, is a wolf. But almost immediately, something feels wrong. He's enormous, far larger than the wolves Feyre knows, and despite that size, he moves through the undergrowth with unnatural silence. That's when the question enters Feyre's mind. What if this isn't really a wolf? Humans have grown up surrounded by stories about the creatures beyond the wall. Powerful beings, immortal beings, creatures capable of slaughtering humans with frightening ease. And Feyre has inherited that fear, perhaps even hatred. So although the creature looks like a wolf, Feyre cannot completely dismiss another possibility. There might be something fey beneath that fur. And if there is, Feyre suddenly has a completely different decision to make. She could run. She could allow the wolf to take the deer, or she could kill it. And this is where the chapter quietly introduces one of its most important pieces of world building. Feyre has only 3 arrows. 2 are ordinary. The third is different. It's made from mountain ash and tipped with iron. According to the stories humans have passed down for generations, iron is dangerous to fairies, but ash is even more valuable. It's believed to interfere with their supernatural ability to heal, creating a brief opportunity for a mortal weapon to actually kill one. Feyre doesn't know whether those stories are completely true. She has never even seen one of these legendary ash trees herself. Her arrow was expensive, rare, and has remained unused for years. Until now. She removes it from the quiver, and that choice tells us something uncomfortable about Feyre. She isn't merely defending herself. Part of her believes that if the wolf is Fey, killing it might actually be a good thing. Protection for her village, revenge for everything humans believe fairies have done, and perhaps one less monster in the world. Now, the entire chapter reduces itself to a calculation. If Feyre does nothing, the wolf could destroy the deer, and with it the food her family desperately needs. If the wolf notices Feyre afterward, she could become the next target. If it's actually Fey, allowing it to escape might put other humans in danger, but attacking something this powerful could easily get her killed. There is no safe option. And that is perhaps the defining idea behind Feyre's life. She has survived by making decisions when every available choice is terrible. The wolf prepares to attack. The doe senses danger, but it doesn't know where the threat is coming from. Feyre watches both animals, waits, measures, and then the wolf launches from the brush. It moves with astonishing speed. The doe has almost no chance, and Feyre makes her decision. She releases the ash arrow. The ash arrow hits. The wolf releases the deer and turns toward Feyre. She immediately prepares another shot, but something unexpected happens. He doesn't charge. He looks at her, and for a brief moment, Feyre sees something in that stare that unsettles her more than aggression would have: awareness, intelligence, perhaps even surprise. This is the moment that matters. Because Feyre's earlier suspicion suddenly becomes much harder to ignore. What if she was right? What if there really is something more than an animal standing in front of her? Feyre doesn't wait for an answer. She fires again. The second arrow strikes through the wolf's eye. He falls, but his death isn't immediate. And as Feyre watches the creature dying in the snow, the certainty she had only moments earlier begins to weaken. The enormous predator suddenly looks less like a monster, and more like something capable of suffering. Eventually, the wolf becomes still, and Feyre does what her life has trained her to do. She moves forward. There isn't time for ceremony. There isn't time to stand in the forest questioning what she has done. Fresh blood can attract other predators. Darkness is approaching, and her family is still hungry. So Feyre takes what she can from the scene. The deer is the priority, but she also skins the wolf. The pelt has value, and wasting something valuable is a luxury people in Feyre's position don't have. It's a harsh moment, but that harshness is the point. Chapter 1 isn't introducing us to a conventional fantasy heroine waiting for destiny to arrive. It introduces someone who has already been shaped by years of difficult choices. Feyre doesn't leave the forest feeling triumphant. She leaves carrying food. For her, that is enough, at least for tonight. Before Feyre leaves, she looks back at the wolf. For a moment, there is almost regret. Almost. Then survival takes over again. And that final image tells us exactly what Chapter 1 is doing. It establishes Feyre's greatest strength, and one of her greatest vulnerabilities. She acts. When circumstances become impossible, Feyre makes a decision and lives with the consequences. But she also acts with incomplete information. She knows the wolf might have been something more. She knows there was intelligence in its eyes, and she fires anyway. As Feyre begins the long journey home, she believes the danger is behind her. She has food. She survived. The hunt is over. What she doesn't understand yet is that killing the wolf wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning.